Hello, and thank you for joining us today for our Where Are Retirees Moving? Today, I'm happy to introduce you to Felicia Saraceno of Gulf Coast International Properties. Felicia comes from Connecticut and has lived in Naples full-time since 2016. She has been a realtor for 20 years. She is a certified dementia practitioner and has over 10 years of experience in the senior living industry. She has several designations as well and is passionate about working with seniors. She is also involved in her community and has always given back. It is my honor to be able to work with Felicia and share her with you today. So Felicia, I know I didn't give you justice, so if you want to expand upon your background, because I know you have a very varied and background in terms of the seniors and what you have done. So if you'd like to share that with people so they know that they're going to be in trusted hands with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for those kind words, Karen. So a little bit about me. I am a former executive director and sales director for assisted living and memory care. And, when you work in those environments, a lot of times people don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm moving to senior living. It's a process. It's something the family is thinking about. And being able to be the boots on the ground, helping them through that process is really special. And it's an intimate time of families' lives and a senior's life. So that is a lot of my background. I'm still an administrator, certified administrator for the state of Florida for assisted living and memory care. And I'm also, like you had mentioned, a certified dementia practitioner. And what I ended up doing about 3 years ago is taking my two passions, working with seniors and working in real estate, which I always have loved, and push them together and create a service for my clients right now where I help them through the entire process from if they're looking for a senior living community, and it doesn't matter if it's here in our local market in Southwest Florida or nationwide, help them navigate that process. Mm-hmm. What are they going to take with them? What are they leaving behind? What items leaving behind need to go to a family member or need to go to an estate sale? Some things, unfortunately, have to go to, the junk places. And we help them declutter and get that whole process completed. And we help project manage all of that so that we can get that home staged and listed and they get the home sold because, as most of us know, the senior living options that we have are all private pay, about 90% of them. And so the seniors will need that large asset, which is their home typically, to help pay for their care for the remainder of their life.
Yeah, that's so true. So now I know you're based in Naples. However, I think today you're going to touch upon, I think, Cape Coral.
Cape Coral, yeah.
Coral, yes.
Yeah.
Here we go, Cape Coral.
Yeah.
You can touch upon that as being an option, as well as, I guess, Naples and Marco Island and what have you. So just want to find out why retirees, moving to Cape Coral. Coral, I can't believe I keep on saying that.
That's okay. So Southwest Florida is comprised, starting from the bottom up, Marco Island, Naples, Bonita Springs, Estero, Fort Myers, and Cape Coral. That kind of rounds out our Southwest Florida area. Mm-hmm. And as folks come down here to take a look at where they need to move to and what's going to be within their price budget and what's going to be the overall location that they want to work with, Cape Coral has immensely started to attract a lot of people moving there from all over the nation and a lot from the Northeast. Their population is around 100,000 according to the U.S. Census, but they're expecting to have another more than 200,000 new residents come in by 2050.
Wow.
And Cape Coral was the way it was designed is they made a lot of canals throughout a lot of Cape Coral for the waterways. So it's on the Gulf Coast. It's just northwest of Fort Myers. Yeah. And you have the Caloosahatchee that runs down from Lake Okeechobee. So there's a lot of waterways that come in there. So a lot of folks move there because they can find an affordable waterfront property where they can have their boat or their water toys, so to say, right there in their backyard. And so Cape Coral is it grows at around 7% each year, which makes it one of the fourth fastest growing city in the U.S. And it's because of the affordability as well. And the cost of living there is a little bit less than, your Fort Myers, your Naples, and your Marco properties. But it does have year-round sun, just like we have here, just a little bit, just about an hour north of where we are here in Naples. And there's a lot of waterfront opportunities between the canals and then direct oceanfront that are very, very affordable to live. And it has so many outdoor activities, including golfing, hiking, biking, wildlife. There's a whole wildlife preserve that is dedicated to eagles because we have a lot of eagles that fly down here, the bald eagles, and they watch their nests as well. So we have parks and beaches, and it really has a really nice sense of community. And between all of the healthcare options that you have, Fort Myers does have a trauma 2 hospital, and that's very close to Cape Coral. And it's a very active retirement community with lots of different options, not just talking about senior living, which is independent living, assisted, and memory care, but that 55 and over community as well. So there's a really big sense of community that draws folks there. But if you're moving from New York, there's a large New York population there, same with New Jersey and the Midwest. So folks like to go where they have like-minded people who already live there.
Right. Yeah, which makes sense. And then are you finding, I'm just curious, are you finding with retirees that are moving down to that area that they will stay there into their older years, or do you find that some are migrating back to be closer to families? And I'm talking, probably 20 years later from when they probably initially moved there.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's two things that happen. Either the senior who lives here, the retiree who lives here, brings their family down here, because we have very much skewed to a lower average age because of that. And so they bring their loved ones down here, so they age in place in their forever home here. Or they're the only one that lives down here, and they have family that live all over the nation. And as they decide what their forever home is going to be, if they're moving into senior living, they're making the decision to either have family come down here to see them, or they want to move up north, because this is happening a lot too, to be closer to family. So it's a more of a one-on-one connection, not once a month or once a quarter. They can see them daily, on a more daily basis, once a week. So they do start to move up north. And we just wrapped up a home that's closing today with someone who moved up north to be with family, because they didn't have anyone left down here.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, I know it's definitely, a factor for families when their loved ones are far away and they're in the, as an adult child, how they react to that. And a lot of times they want the parents, back, if the parents will agree to it, because a lot are very just independent and want to stay where they love to be, because it's, it's their life.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So what do you find the typical retirees doing down there? I know you said there's a very active community, and in terms of outdoor activities and everything like that. So what are they really getting involved in, or what is there, like how, so let's just paint a picture of someone's moving down there, and let's say they don't know anybody. I know a lot of times people will move, like you said, they've like-minded people, or they may have friends that have moved to that area. So that's why they'll move to that area. But what about the person that just fell in love with the area and really doesn't have a network of people? How do they get involved and really, live down their life to the fullest?
Sure. So the one thing I hear about retirees moving down here is that they are busier now than when they were working. And it's so funny to hear that. And they say, I don't know where the day goes. It goes so quickly. And it's because when you move down here, and say you move to a 55 and over community, which is an HOA, which is a homeowners association, or you move into a senior living community, each one of them has an activities department or a committee. And they're providing activities for you to do. Now, some folks want to join those, some folks don't, because it all is for what your likes and dislikes are. One might be wildlife bird watching, while another one might be we're going to the beach today type of a deal. So there's something for everyone. But down here, a lot of things that attract people is Naples is a pickleball capital of the world. We host the US Open for pickleball every year. So pickleball is huge down here. Huge. A lot of pickleball pros. Same with golf. We're the golf capital of the world as well, with over 100 golf courses right here, just in our close area. Once you go up to Cape Coral, I know that expands much more. But then there's a lot of specialty committees that are here, from wine tasting, bourbon society, specialty car clubs like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, and they have weekly and sometimes daily activities that keep you pretty busy. And everyone is really joining in on that because the whole area has so many different activities for you to do. Every weekend, there's either a festival of some sort or an art show. And we have car shows and craft beers festivals and seafood festivals and art shows. So at the end of the day, there are so many things happening on our calendars, like movie outside and Mercado. And you're with a bunch of folks listening and watching a movie out on a lawn, and you bring lawn chairs. So there's always something to do, and you meet people. People are so friendly down here because majority of them have moved down, so they've been in your shoes, and they kind of take you in and pull you into their kind of sphere, and you create your own tribe. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's maybe one of the reasons why you moved down there full time.
We did, for a better quality of life for our family from the Northeast. Yes.
Yes. I know you're making me want to move. I mean, right now it's a little cool up here again today, but it's beautiful down there. And then what about tax incentives or anything like that? Is there any tax incentive for retirees?
Absolutely. So when you move to the state of Florida and you live here as a primary resident of 6 months and 1 day, you're considered to be a full-time resident. So there's a lot of people who still snowbird. Our snowbird season just ended. Normally starts, in the fall to the winter, and it goes till about Easter. So full season is around January, right after the holidays wrap up, till Easter. And there's a lot of folks who stay here much longer than that. And when you are a resident here and you purchase a home, you get to do what's called homestead. And you apply for homestead. And what that does is it reduces your home assessed market rate by $50,000. And there's a lot of different pieces of this, so I'm just going to keep it super top line. Right. But as a senior, a widower or a widow, a vet, if you're a military veteran, or if you have some sort of a disability, there's even more discounts that apply to that for your annual taxes. But what Florida does is they put something in place called the Save Our Home Act. And that basically means that your taxing municipal partnership, like if it's your city or your county, they cannot raise your taxes more than 3% annually. So it keeps your tax rate down. The one thing that people have to realize is you pay taxes on your home price. So when you're looking for a home down here, and say it was a long-time home for 20 years that someone lived there, and you see on the MLS or you see the listing and it says our taxes on there like $3,000, but the home is now for sale for $800,000, you're going to be paying taxes on the $800,000. So I always tell people equate that to about 1%, and that's what your taxes are going to be.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's really helpful information that people can use.
Yeah. And, Florida, down here in Florida, we're known for our amazing beaches. So people want to be down down here for some of the world's best beaches. We have Siesta Key. I mean, there's so many beautiful places. But being a Florida resident means that you have access to some of the best theme parks in the world at discounted rates. You have 4 major cruise ports here with special Florida discount resident rates. And then you have access to some of the best tropical destinations right at your fingertips. And it's like a short flight to St. Thomas. It's a 45-minute boat ride from around the Fort Lauderdale area to the Bahamas. So it's very accessible. for a lot of travel.
Yeah, that's fabulous. It's nice to hear how well Florida is treating their residents, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's so important. More and more states need to do more, I think, to entice people to keep them there. But I mean, I guess that's why Florida is already in one of the top 3 destinations of where people are moving to
Every year.
every year. I know, without fail, it's true. Let's see, what else have we not covered? Is there anything else that we missed that you want to expand upon or talk about?
Absolutely. So, many people want to move here to our area of paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many pieces with making a national move. And one of the things that our team does really well is we help you to acclimate and get your network up and running really fast. Whether that's helping you find a doctor or a daycare or something as simple as what are some of the best restaurants in the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's overwhelming when you move to a new area and you don't have a list of trusted
Right.
vendors or places that you want to go and visit on a weekly, monthly, or daily basis. So we have experience with making all of that happen pretty seamlessly, but we also have some national partners that help with that whole entire move, with packing up your move, getting it here, and unpacking, which that's a really daunting task for a lot of people because moving is one of the top, 5 stressors in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a lot for families moving down here, and the seniors themselves and the retirees. But one of the things that we do help with a lot is when folks are moving down here. I actually have someone from New York moving down, and their
Mm-hmm.
mother needs to move to senior living. We can help with that whole process as well because of our extensive knowledge and my extensive knowledge that I have in the senior living industry. And with making such a long move of that nature, sometimes the family needs some additional help um, to actually facilitate the move, which we
Mm-hmm.
can provide for them as well.
Oh, that's great. So you're a one-stop service then. That,
Absolutely.
yeah, that's perfect. So tell me, as we wrap up here, how can people get in touch with you? What is the best way to get in touch with you?
Sure. You can always reach out to me. It's Felicia Saraceno. My direct number is my cell phone is 203-631-1737. Just reach out to us and you can connect with me at naplesparadiseliving.com, and all of our contact and our social media pages are right there.
Okay, great. And I will try to, I think I'll be able to put those in the notes too, or in the comments section as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it.